happy that I'm spending my money at.
Oh, we're green. We're green.
He said 10 seconds. I'd like to call to order the Westmont Village Board meeting of February the 20th, 2025, to order at 6 o'clock p.m. and ask our clerk Simsky for roll call, please.
Great. Mayor Gunter.
Here.
Clerk Simsky, here. Trustee Barry.
Here.
Trustee Barker.
Here.
Trustee Guzzo.
Here.
Trustee Little.
Here.
Trustee Nero.
Here.
Trustee Scales.
Here.
Attorney Zemanek.
Here.
Village Manager May.
Here.
And Assistant Village Manager Parker.
Here. Would everybody please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We welcome everyone to tonight's meeting. The first item, of course, is our open forum. Anybody here tonight that'd like to address the board? Since there's no one tonight, I will close open forum and move on to reports. I have two items under my report. The dementia-friendly, the Westmont Public Library has announced their spring programs. Visit either our website or the library for more information. And last night I had the opportunity to attend the Chamber Open House. It was well-run, and we had the little bites of all from Restaurant Week. So it was a delicious and well-attended event. I know, Trustee, you're going to talk a little bit about Restaurant Week later, so I'll move on to Clerk Simsky.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple items to highlight. Downers Grove Township provides many programs and assistance to area seniors. Some programs include Meals on Wheels, Dial-A-Ride, social events, computer classes, and more. And please see our website for more information. And then the other item is voting. In-person early voting begins Monday, March 17th for the consolidated election. This can be accomplished at the DuPage County Election Office in Wheaton. Other locations are listed on the DuPage County website, dupagecounty.gov. That's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Little, you had a big Administration and Finance Committee meeting before this.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I did. We started off our meeting with the awards by and to the fire department. We had 3 life-saving awards given tonight. First one was given to Battalion Chief Blaskowitz, Firefighter Jensen, Firefighter Martinez Zuniga, Firefighter Kenna, Firefighter Sakalas, and Firefighter Bush. A second life-saving award was given out to Battalion Chief Nolan, Lieutenant Sayaki, Lieutenant McCarthy, Firefighter Basilone, Firefighter Vicenzio, Firefighter Sakalas, Firefighter Lindsay, and Firefighter Tyrone White. And a third one was given out to Chief Nolan, Lieutenant McCarthy, Firefighter Vicekman, Firefighter Lestina, Firefighter Basilone, and Firefighter Lindsay. And then the best award was given out to the Westmont Employee of the Year Award to Firefighter Patrick Lindsay for his ongoing excellent work for the community and our fire department. And he's quite the mentor to the newer generation of firefighters, and he's been with us and doing an excellent job. We applaud him for his efforts. In addition to that, we went over and reviewed some text amendments for both fire and the building codes. We ran a real fast fire department end-of-the-year report and reviewed the village purchasing policy and a little bit of information on information technology policy. And aside from that, we do have special events schedule has been published on the village website. Our cruising nights will be Thursday from 5 to 9 in June, July, and August. We have Creative Arts Network art classes will be the second Mondays of the month at Neat Kitchen. And the Taste of Westmont is already scheduled now for July 10, 11, 12, and 13. For more information, visit Westmont Special Events website at westmontevents.com. That's all I have, Mayor, thank you.
And for this year, everything remains the same location?
Everything remains the same.
Good, thank you. Trustee Nero, Public Works Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple things tonight. Our next Public Works Committee meeting is going to be March 20th, right here at Village Hall, 4:30. Still, we have our annual tree seedling giveaway. Information is available on our website, and all this is coordinated by Public Works and our Environmental Improvement Commission, so we appreciate all of it. Please check out the website if you want to participate. You select which seedling you want, and then you pick it up on Arbor Day, April 25th, 1 to 5 p.m. at the library. So kind of a fun program if you like that. And you better be quick, because Adopt a Planner sign-up has started. I know they always sell out pretty quick. Visit the village website if you are interested in adopting a planner. And special thank you to Public Works for all their hard work with snow removal operations over the past few weeks. Unlike Panama City Beach, Florida, you don't see people on the back of the pickup bed with a coffee cup putting salt out in Westmont. We do it the right way, and it was pretty funny if you haven't seen that video, how they remove salt or how they remove snow in Florida. They don't know what they're doing much. Our guys do a great job. We appreciate it. And I just wanted to make another comment. After Westmont Restaurant Week, next Thursday, a restaurant named Gia Mia, there's multiple locations, not one in Westmont, but they're hosting a fundraiser for DuPage Animal Friends, which is a charitable organization that funds DuPage Animal Services that the Village of Westmont uses a lot. Police pick up a stray animal, it goes out to the county. So this is at Gia Mia, it's next Thursday. You use a special code if you just want to order online, DAF27. They're giving 20% of all the sales towards Friends of DuPage Animal Services, which is, again, a charity to help that program out. So if you look at, there's a few of them around DuPage County. I think there's one in Elmhurst, Downers Grove, maybe Naperville, but good Italian restaurant, and it's for a good cause. So it's okay to sneak out of Westmont that one night for a meal. And that's all I have, sir. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and we'll turn to Trustee Barry, Police Public Safety.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our next Police Public Safety Committee meeting will be June 12th. The next Police Department Special Olympics event, Paper Shred, will be, I'm sorry, let me start that over. The next Police Department Special Olympics Paper Shred fundraising event will be April 19th from 9 a.m. to noon. See our website for more info. And we encourage everyone to participate so we can lead the way on our Special Olympics fundraising again. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Trustee Scales, we got Community Development Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the next Community Development Committee meeting is on April 17th. We also have the Downtown Incentive Program that has been updated for 2025, and that information is available on the Community Development website, or the Community Development section of the website. Restaurant Week, as you mentioned earlier, has kicked off. The 9th annual week starts today and continues until March 2nd. You can go to the Westmont Chamber website for more info on dining deals, and there's about 33 participating restaurants. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, and we'll go.
We started today.
And we went today. Staff here went to Tapatio. Very good. And I do have to compliment one of our own is on WGN News, Sarah Gindra, and she hosted our team there to promote Westmont Restaurant Week. So we want to thank her for thinking of us. Trustee Johannick Guzzo, the Fire Public Safety.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our next Fire Public Safety Committee meeting is March 6th, 4:30 here at Village Hall. Everyone is invited to attend. In the Citizens Fire Academy, there are still a few spots open for the Citizens Fire Academy, which is scheduled to run from April 1st through April 29th. Check out the Village website for more information. And I too want to echo Trustee Little's comments on congratulating and saying thank you to all of our firefighters that were honored this evening. And a special congratulations and thank you to our firefighter of the year, who was Pat Lindsay. And that's actually all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Now, Trustee Barker, Environmental Improvement Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. The Environmental Improvement Committee will meet again on March 3rd at the Westmont Library. And then we have our 2025 recycling and more dates. They are April 5th and November 22nd, and those are out here in front of Village Hall in the commuter lot. So please take advantage of those. And then lastly, we have a guest speaker lined up. We're trying to do a guest speaker every month at the library and draw a larger crowd to that because it's about education of the public, right? And this Monday, or March 3rd, the guest speaker is from the Conservation Foundation to talk about the use of pesticides, which is important to a lot of people in our environment. And again, it's about trying to get the public there. All right, thank you, that is all.
Well, thank you. We'll move on to items to be removed from the consent agenda. Does any board member have any items? Seeing none, I'd ask Manager May to please read.
Consent agenda this evening begins with village board minutes. Board to consider approving the minutes of the village board meeting held February 6, 2025. That's followed by finance ordinance number 4 in the aggregate amount of $2,184,755.38. We have 5 purchase orders. First one is CDW LLC, $89,450. This is for 3 new servers and a backup server in the IT department, which is a budgeted item. Actually, all the purchase orders are budgeted. Next, Gordon Flesh Company, $54,020. This is an open purchase order, an annual amount that will make payments off of for copier lease payments, February 2025 through December of 2025. Next is Baxter and Woodman, $65,000. Also an open purchase order is for 2025's GIS consulting services with that organization. Next is Foster Coach, $28,000 is a replacement ambulance, and the unit number is Medic 182. And lastly, Patson Incorporated, which is Trans-Chicago Truck Group, is $642,037, and this replaces 6 dump truck plows. And I wanted to point out, this is a new purchase order for this, but this isn't the first time these vehicles were approved. So we've had orders in and have waited for a long time, and we're still, a year out and we're not even in queue for build with another manufacturer. And then I don't know if we approached Freightliner or they approached us, but they've got vehicles available on the lot, and it's a type that we use. So this purchase order, although a high dollar amount, we'll be canceling the other orders for, all 6 of them, Amy, are replacement, aren't even new this year.
We ordered them some of them were ordered in like 20.
That's all right.
Yeah, the large truck purchases have been very difficult, challenging for us. We ordered some of them in like 2020 and 2021, and they were canceled, and then we ordered more of them in 2023, which included some pre-orders for 2024 and 2025 vehicles. And then they told us maybe we might get them sometime in 2025, and now they've told us that they don't know when we're going to get them, so we were able to find these Freightliners that we were able to get much quickly, so we can have them ready to roll by the time the snow flies next year.
Yeah.
So
Otherwise, we wouldn't be
it'd be an
buying
unknown
6 at once.
Yeah, it'd be an unknown time frame otherwise.
Thank you. And so the total of all those purchase orders is $878,507. And combining the purchase orders with finance ordinance number 4 is $3,063,262.38. Last on the consent agenda is a community event, 2025 Race to the Flag. Board to consider an ordinance approving the following requests for the 2025 Race to the Flag event to be held on May 25th. 1 community events permit, 2 street closures, 3 live amplified sound permit. And the fact that the special event's on the consent agenda means it's following the same format it has in previous years. That's the entire consent agenda, Mayor.
Do you have a motion to approve as read?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second.
Motion made second. Questions? I have a quick one. On the resale, when we go to auction, maybe I ask the manager, on those 6 vehicles, we expect some return back for them, right? And does a rough idea, you might as well come up, because I know we go to auction and we're getting pretty decent prices on,
You've been getting good prices, but it varies, vehicle by vehicle is a
Yeah.
little bit different, and I
Yeah,
don't
we-
know that you can forecast what they're worth.
I'm just,
We haven't auctioned off any of these larger trucks since I've been here because we haven't been able to get replacement trucks. They're all still in service. But we have gotten pretty good prices for some pretty dilapidated vehicles, so
we're talking 20 grand?
maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
I-
that's
That's,
what I-
if I was to venture a guess with no data points, that's what I would guess.
So
we
if
would
these
get.
cost 105 apiece, or whatever it is, or
Yeah,
we could make back
more,
some
well,
of
more
it.
than that.
Yeah,
but,
all right.
Yeah, so
I'm just-
hopefully,
Costs more than ambulances.
I know.
they've been well-maintained, but they are, some of them are older.
Okay, thank you. Any additional comments? Roll call, please.
Right, trustee Little,
Yes.
trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Barker,
Yes.
trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Scales.
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business A, municipal grocery tax. Board to consider an ordinance approving a 1% local grocery tax on food and home consumption beginning January the 1st, 2026. And I've got our finance director, Altick.
Thank you, Board. Thank you, Mayor. Before you tonight is an ordinance to approve a local 1% grocery tax to go into effect starting on January 1st, 2026, so 10-ish months from now. This last year, in 2024, the governor's office sought to change the authority in which the tax was imposed. This tax will no longer be effective under state authority, but can be imposed under local authority, including non-home rule communities as well, like us. This tax broadly applies to food meant to be, eaten, prepared, consumed outside the grocery store. So this is like your box of pasta, your ground beef, and your milk products. And just for some context, this revenue source is significant. It brings in approximately $1 million a year to the village. So in terms of impact or how this, the typical consumer or business will see this change, they really shouldn't see anything different. It's just the authorization for which the tax applies. Instead of it being state, it's now local. The mechanics of the tax are.
It was
generally-
1% before, it's being administered through us instead of through the state. It's 1% after, so
It's not being administered through us. It's still being administered from the state. So they still collect it, they still give it to us just like they always have.
It's just the authority in which the tax applies, so.
but it's
that's
not
the
really
only
an
change.
increase, it's,
It's not an increase. Yep, so consumers will see
Thank you.
no change whatsoever.
It used to be the state just said, we're gonna give it to every municipality, whether you want it or not. And now the state's saying, if you want us to give it to you, you have to tell us. To keep getting the same money you've always been getting.
That's a good way of putting it.
better put.
And I think do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve Barker.
Second, Nero.
Motion made, second. Comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Right, trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Scales.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business B, 2025 zoning map. Board to consider an ordinance approving the revised zoning map dated December 31st, 2024 as the official 2025 zoning map for the Village of Westmont. I've got Director Hennerfein.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Board. So every year, we're here before you. Basically, once a year before the end of March, the state requires us to adopt a new zoning map, basically with all the changes that occurred last year, so that we have something that's current. So there's really no significant changes. We had a few changes, so a lot split or rezoning, those kinds of things are represented on the new map, and I can answer any questions if you have them.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Nero.
Motion been made, second to approve. Any comments? It's an annual event, so roll call, please.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Scales.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank
We have to do this one with the specific December 31st date, but often when we do have changes throughout the year, we'll republish the same 2025 map with a different revision date on it to show reality, but lawfully, we have to publish this one.
We never like a scenario where there's a significant change and people can't reference a new map. So if we.
All went
if we
on in
get those,
January. I was talking about, annexations, the committee before, so after those are done, we'll have another map.
Thank you. New business C, water rate text amendment. Board to consider ordinance approving amendments to section 82-201, 5 monthly rates within village. And I think I've got Mr. Parker, Assistant Village Manager Parker, to go over this one.
Sure. So this is just a housekeeping item based on the last water rate change. Historically, we've allowed some of the users, schools, churches, municipal facilities to get the residential rate, because that's slightly lower than the commercial rate. That continues now. One of the changes with the way we changed residential rate, as you'll recall, was saying if people went over a certain amount on the residence, that was probably discretionary use, and so it was charged at a higher rate. We don't want to be charging a school kind of assuming that, oh, this is extra discretionary use because it's more than a single household uses. So we're just fixing that.
Any taxing body.
Yeah, any taxing body.
Doesn't include irrigation, does it? I don't think so.
So we're saying that irrigation that's done by, for example, a park district or library municipality does not get taxed that extra amount. Does not, sorry, not taxed, doesn't get charged the extra amount.
Charge what they pay for what they use.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion
To approve, Nero.
Second, Guzzo.
Motion made and second approved. Any additional questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Okay, trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Scales.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business D, outdoor dining on public parkway grant for Whiskey Hill. Board to consider a motion approving an outdoor dining reimbursement grant for Whiskey Hill, 5 West Quincy Street, for the purchase of the outdoor dining chairs and tables. Director Altick.
Thank you again. Whiskey Hill, located at 5 West Quincy, which is the bottom floor of the Quincy Station luxury apartment complex just down the street here, submitted an application to finance in December of 2024 under the village's outdoor dining on public parkway grant. After reviewing the application, with a few discussions with the applicant, finance has determined that the applicant is eligible for a grant reimbursement in the amount of $3,799.41. This was a new grant opportunity started in 2024. Whiskey Hill is the only applicant that the village received in 2024. They've met all their criteria for the grant and are eligible for reimbursement in that amount of $3,799.41.
And again, that was up to 5,000 potential, and they had to meet our standards or qualifications that we put together.
Yeah, so the maximum amount of the award was $5,000. Is $5,000. The applicant initially submitted invoices for a little over $5,000. And reviewing the application and looking at the outdoor dining license that they received in maybe August or so, there were more chairs that they purchased than what was licensed in the application. And in discussions with them, they got a really great deal, and so they bought several to kind of keep back in storage, for wear and tear. So we matched everything to what was on the licensure in terms of quantities of chairs and tables.
Okay.
And so that's how we come up with the $3,000 number.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Nero.
Second, Little.
Motion making second to approve. Trustee Barker.
So I don't know if this would go to Director Hennefine, but so if they're putting tables and chairs out there and there is additional capacity and additional furniture that matches our criteria, do they have to be in the parameters? I don't remember the guideline. Do they have to be in the parameters of their building? Or do we have the ability, because it is village property, to let them grow it?
The way the outdoor dining was written was basically you could have a certain amount of tables and chairs based on the square footage of area that you have in front of your business. So there would be a limitation ultimately, but I don't think that Whiskey Hill, because they've got a very large amount of space out there. So I think they probably could exercise more tables and chairs. It just would have to be part of their annual plan, but we would analyze it at that time.
So they haven't reached their capacity, I guess.
I don't believe they have.
Did start that way to so that everybody had an opportunity to do it. If next year, someone has no intention of using their space, there's nothing wrong with looking at, a bigger area.
Yeah,
If that
perfect.
helps.
Perfect area, and then I think they actually didn't even exercise putting tables under the white colonnade right in front of the building. That's where they originally thought they would put them. They didn't exercise that, so they have plenty of room to grow
Yeah.
with their tables and chairs.
Well, I do think outdoor
they-
dining is gonna be big there.
I guess I'm confused. They can have more, like they could use all those tables and chairs that they purchased now?
I don't know if they can use every one, I don't know how many were in the
Not in the
quantity. But the actual stuff that's under the colonnade, that is their own private property. That is where they initially thought that they would put their patio before the plans to do what we did on Quincy actually took effect. They just elected that they didn't put any of their tables and chairs under there. So could they utilize some of those tables and chairs without getting the approval through this outdoor dining? Technically, yes, because they are at liberty, I think, to place 5 or 6 tables on their own property that's there. Now, whether or not, because I wasn't running the grant program, whether or not the village could offer to fund those on private property, I don't know what the parameters on that were, so.
I mean, it was written for a parkway.
It was written for the
public
parkway. Okay, so.
Thank you.
Overall, though, they're not limited. If they want to bring chairs out there and have 70 people, they can have 70, or they can have 10.
We would first review it with their annual renewal to make sure that they technically have the space, because ultimately, we need to make sure that the handicapped accessibility and other rules to make sure that they don't crowd them too much are still in effect. And provided they can still meet all those distance requirements between tables and aisleways, then they can put as many chairs out there as will be allowed by that square footage.
And I think it's, one chair per every 10 square feet? So we kind of limit it that way, so they don't cram everything together. There's some space. It doesn't require that it has to be right in front of their restaurant. It does mention the public right-of-way adjoining their restaurant, but that could probably extend beyond the boundaries if it's reasonable, but they have to, get a license agreement approved regarding their use of the public right-of-way, and so the village board can limit it that way in the license agreement, whether they want to go a little bigger or smaller.
Thank you.
This is exciting. I was glad somebody took advantage of it.
We're working with the others to extend it, and hopefully they'll all take advantage of it. Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Scales.
Yes.
Motion passes. Anybody got any miscellaneous they'd like to talk about? If not, we do need shouldn't be a long executive session, but we do need an executive session this evening for the purpose of, and I'm going to read it the right way. I need a motion to adjourn executive session to discuss the following. 1, the employment and performance of specific employees of the village pursuant to Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act, and 2, to discuss pending litigation between the village and the Hayden Estate pursuant to Section 2C11 of the Open Meetings Act. And motion to go into executive session?
Motion to adjourn an executive session for those reasons. Nero.
Second Little?
Motion been made and seconded to go to executive session. Roll call, please.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Scales.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Okay, we're going into executive session. When we come out, there will not be any further business. So right now, meeting is postponed.